IT, forging IT security experts. Secure Ninja.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia Webb with SecureNinjaTV, and I am here at RSA 2013 in San Francisco. And I'm speaking with Dan Ford. He is the Chief Security Officer at Fixmo, and Fixmo has some awesome stuff that they are unveiling this year at RSA.
Right.
Dan, first of all, so good to see you again.
Absolutely, it's always great to see you and the rest of the Secure Ninja crew.
Definitely, we're so excited to hear about what you have going on, so tell us about it.
Oh, it's some great stuff. So we've announced here at RSA this year on Monday, Fixmo Labs. Fixmo Labs is our research institute. We're essentially trying to come up with unique ways to secure mobile devices. Essentially, we've put on our black hat, so to speak, and we're starting to actively and aggressively look at the attack surface of all these mobile devices and try to close that gap to allow enterprises to feel more comfortable in the way in which they're going to use their mobile computing devices.
Excellent.
So two of those things. One of them, we've partnered with a couple of different major organizations in order to be able to assist us in this venture. First one's Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin's a big, huge defense contractor. They do a lot of work in the research area when it comes to the Department of Energy and Sandia Labs. We've gone the academic route as well, so whatever we find, we've got Capital College, which is one of the National Security and DHS Centers of Academic Excellence. And then one of our big partners is based in Singapore, I2R. So they're essentially a really big and great research institute headquartered in Singapore. So they've got over 1,000 patents worldwide in different technologies. We've had a lot of great working experience with them, and we'll demonstrate some of the unique vulnerabilities that we found in the last 30 days that are zero-day vulnerabilities. We found a little over 600 vulnerabilities in various operating systems on a mobile device.
Yikes.
So one of the first things I want to do is show Secure Gesture. Secure Gesture is this that we've done with Lockheed Martin. This gets us closer to a direct assertion of identity. Basically, with indirect assertions of identity, we've got usernames and passwords.
Right.
I can give you my username and password, and you authenticate to this system, it's you.
Right.
So you've gone through the training. The training link will be provided in the notes, and you've gone through it. It was very simple. So as we can see, we've already got Alicia on here. We're going to log Alicia into our safe zone container. This entire screen winds up becoming the overall authentication to the safe zone container. And Alicia's gone through the training. It took you, about 30 seconds?
30 seconds, and it was a lot of fun.
Perfect.
Much more fun than typing in a 16-character password.
Oh, yes.
All right, here's my password.
And then we'll click submit. Bam.
And I'm in.
One time try, we got in, access to the entire container at that point. That technology, which has been validated by Lockheed Martin, is the equivalent to a 14-character strong password. So that's uppercase, lowercase, number, and a symbol. Very quickly done. So now we can feel a lot more comfortable of authenticating on essentially a consumer operating device.
Right. But wait, you saw my password and you saw me put it in several times, so let's see you crack into it.
All right, so I'll try it. And I have seen it a couple of times.
Yep.
So I'm pretty horrible. Yeah, not good.
No.
Not good at all.
But that's what makes it so safe.
Right, this is perfect. So you can see it, and as you're typing it in, or essentially putting your gesture in, it disappears. Some of the parameters that are used in this are speed, the pressure, the distance between the different characters that are on there, and the direction. So all of those parameters are taken in order to be able to come up with a unique key in order to encrypt the database, and therefore encrypt and unlock. So by doing that, we've essentially taken something that's very complex and made it easy to use for the end user, and they don't feel that pain of security.
Right.
If they feel the pain, they're not going to use it, because as we've said before, never underestimate an end user on a deadline, because if security is in the way of meeting their deadline, they can and will go around you.
Right.
Here's a way of them authenticating. They don't feel that pain of security, and they move right into it.
It seems super safe. So even if you had a printout of the exact way I wrote it, it would probably still not work because your pressure
Absolutely.
and flow
Speed,
would not be the same.
The direction, I don't know which way you did it. I'm not exactly sure how you did your little loop there at the end. It's very complex and it's simple for you. So essentially, now that's not completely a direct assertion of identity, but we're starting to close that gap between an indirect assertion and a direct assertion. So, the direct assertion, essentially, you would have to start having the computer chips inside you, right? Because, even biometrics, technically, it's not a direct assertion because there's middleware that you can attack and they're interpreting it.
Right. So where might we see this technology pop up?
Sure.
Phones,
well, it's going to be in our Fixmo Safe Zone product. So anyone that's looking for that container solution to secure their enterprise data on an iPhone or an Android phone or tablet, it's provided right there as one of your authentication techniques.
Nice. I like it.
So the other part, which our partner Krish from I2R.
Hello. Nice to see you. Definitely.
So we Krish and his crew out at I2R, they developed this technology called ARMED, and what they're doing is a super fast-paced fuzzing technique. Fuzzing, Krish, why don't you go ahead and explain the fuzzing piece, what that means?
Thanks, Dan. So, first of all, ARM, the project, it stands for Advanced Research in Mobile Exploitations and Defenses. So what we are trying to do here is Safe Zone is the one that's going to defend you, to protect your data, and also to protect the applications what is running here. In our project, what we are doing is that we are actually doing a systematic study, systematic implementation in order to discover zero-day vulnerabilities, right? So just for the interest of everybody seeing the video, zero-day vulnerabilities are something what a third party discovers, which even the stakeholders are not aware of it. So even if you have an application that is completely clean, non-malware, that could still be impacted by the zero-day vulnerabilities present within the system. So in our project, what we are demonstrating here, you can just see that there's a phone that is running there with all the tests it is continuously doing. We are able to discover vulnerabilities at a very rapid pace rather. So now, in the screenshot, what we can show you, are we going to screenshot?
Yes, let's take a look at the screen.
Okay. So in the screenshot here,
so as Chris is showing that, you can see right here, here's the application that's running on the mobile device. Right, this is an application. So this device is not compromised. It's not a rooted device. We don't have to do this on jailbroken devices. It's an application that's communicating with the server. So all the processing that's going on here is constantly sending new potential vulnerability jobs in the fuzz jobs that Chris was getting ready to explain. So it's not rooted. Well, on the iOS devices, they're not jailbroken. So we're really looking at this from a known good state device that has not been compromised. So it's got all of the security that Apple or Android has provided. So go ahead, Krishnan, kind of explain what we've been doing here.
Okay, so here in the system, what you can see, as Dan explained, we just go buy this device from the market, just like what you guys can buy from the market. So there is no additional thing. So whatever vulnerabilities we find here is actually everybody's impacted by it. Let's say you buy the same LG phone from the market. If I know about the zero-day vulnerability, you can be impacted by it, right? So as an example here, in this whole system what we have developed here, we are able to show you the statistics within the last 30 days of the experiments. So to highlight it, I just put my mouse somewhere here. It shows that we found around 708 inputs that are successfully crashing that particular version of Android, which is 4.04. Now here we have Android 2.3.6, around 329 inputs are successfully crashing. Now you may be wondering, I have something like a blue bar and a red bar. What the red bar means is that system automatically identified a problem, but a human has to still verify it. So the reason I'm telling you is that this is not just some software running somewhere and it's going to give you false positive. Here we make sure that the amount of false positive is very less or even totally not there. So all the blue bar, what you see there is a human sitting there taking this input and making sure that it's actually crashing the system before we even disclose it to the stakeholders. So why these two versions we are showing here that's important is, if you take a look at this screenshot, Android 2.3.6 is around 45.4% market share. This is from Google website. You can see the URL that we are showing here. Android 4.04 is 29% market share. You add both of them together, you're looking at a 75% market share of Android, whether it is the devices from LG, Samsung or Motorola, anyone carrying these two versions of the vanilla version of Android is going to be affected by it. So what we are trying to do in Fixmo Labs is we find the vulnerabilities. We want to feed the vulnerabilities to the stakeholders. The stakeholders could be the Google or it could be the OEM's kind of thing. OEM was actually manufacturing the phone. However, the problem with a mobile device is that there is a very big window of vulnerability that exists. What this means is that Google needs time to fix the vulnerability, then it releases an update of Google software. The OEMs have to release the firmware. The firmware needs to be accepted by the telco providers or carriers. Then the user like you and me, we have to have the time to actually download the firmware and you have to install it. So as you can see, the time could take maybe 8 weeks or 12 weeks, or it could be even more. What we are doing is, while simultaneously we are releasing this information to the stakeholders, we are also going to put the threat signatures inside the safe zone. So safe zone, if you are going to use a product, is whitelisted applications, but now safe zone is more intelligent, and that is where safe zone is distinguished from our competitors, that we know about threat vectors on the platform in which safe zone is running. So next time you try to open an input file that we think could be exploiting the vulnerability, we simply block you from opening it. Right? So then,
yeah, that's right. And one of the things I want to make sure that it's very well known in terms of what we're doing at Fixmo Labs. One, we're looking to protect our customers, but two, we're going to practice responsible disclosure. We want to work with the device manufacturer, with the software companies, to let them know what we found, because we're looking to try to make these mobile devices strong. The more they use them, the more vulnerabilities we're going to find, and we want to close that gap, essentially close the threat window to get it to where there's less opportunity for a bad actor to be able to exploit someone's personal information.
And you do this just by making them aware of the vulnerability.
Right, and we're going to work with them, we'll give them all of the notes, let them know the memory dumps, everything that they may possibly need in order to fix this vulnerability. Now, one of the things we wanted to show you that we've just recently found one on iOS 6.1.2. Now, this is just in a regular image file. This image file you could get, it looks just like an image file. It really is an image file. We didn't embed any malware in it. So what that means is when you're looking at stuff that it would do some type of deep packet inspection, they would see that image file and it matches the magic byte. So they go, this is a good, valid file. But what they don't know is how that's going to execute inside an iOS or Android device. So we'll show you an example as to how this attack might look and what it'll do.
All right. Okay. So let me take it from here. I'm going to show you a video. So here you can take a look. I've just captured a live video recording from my colleague. So what we are showing here is this is one of the new devices, iPod Touch 4G. The sticker is there. So let me play the video, and while the video is running, I'll do the explanation. So here, first we are showing you the version of the OS. Right? It's a non-jailbroken device. So it's 6.1.2. That's the latest version what we have here. So now, we just wrote a simple application. We just call it Hello World. When you try to open up the application, this is a clean picture. It's just a picture viewer. There is nothing wrong with this picture. Application is running. But now we're just going to switch over to our application. Now we are going to swap with the file which we have discovered that is actually rebooting the phone. Right through our experiments like the one you see here. We are switching the phone. You can see it's a JPEG file, and then we're just going to stop the execution of the current application. We're just running. These are all standard iOS tools. Now the application starts running. You don't see the image, and you just wait for a few seconds, and then you will see that the phone is actually automatically rebooting it. Right? So what this means is that if you and me are friends, I can just say that this is a picture from last night's party, and you just want to open it. The moment you try to open it, your phone is going to reboot it. Now, rebooting is only the basic symptom. A malicious hacker can use this in order to run, executable code. That's a potential to that. So this is the kind of zero-day vulnerabilities what we want to discover, and what we are capable of discovering. We want to let the stakeholders know. In this case, it's only Apple. At the same time, we want to protect the end consumers. Now, if you get this file, when you want to open it up, say within Safe Zone or within Safe Zone Protected 1, we know that that's going to create a problem because you reboot the phone, we want to stop you from executing it.
So you had this image file and everything looked good, normal image file. What did you do to actually make it bad?
Right, that's a very good question, and that's one of the distinguishing factors between how we do the research. So we take a very good image file, but in some cases we won't even take an image file, but we look into what is called RFCs. So RFCs, request for commands from the JPEG standards. We look through the complete standards to understand how the variations of the JPEG image can be found, can be generated, we create what is called a seed file. In the seed file, then we have our own fuzzing engines. We do all 3 known types of fuzzing engines, but we are very comprehensive in analyzing whether we are evaluating the various parts of the file, and then we are feeding it into a real device like an iPod Touch to create the first image, so that we are able to discover the zero-day vulnerabilities in less amount of time and in a more efficient way.
So this is great. It sounds like this is going to help the manufacturers detect their vulnerabilities early on, so we're not hearing about them as much, and we don't have as many problems with our cell phones.
That's exactly the goal. We want to continue to enable a trusted mobile computing environment, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here in our research. We want to be able to get to the manufacturers faster than what the bad actors out there are creating the exploits for, because hey, it's tough on a mobile device. These things are blowing up all over the place, and we just want to be able to do our part as a security company and help the industry.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a great job. How can people keep up on everything that you're doing with Fixmo?
Thank you very much for that. So, of course, you can reach me at Twitter, NetSecrets. I also blog, Fixmo.com blog. I have a blog there. And then you're going to see some interesting things right at Fixmo.com Labs. So we have some specific things that we will be going through, and we find some really unique vulnerabilities after we've gone through the process with the manufacturer. We're going to start doing some demonstrations on this. We'll hopefully be at Black Hat, being able to show exactly how vulnerable some of these devices are in a working proof of concept. So we could take this exact image and show you that more can happen from it.
Right, excellent. And hopefully we will be speaking with you in the future.
I am sure we will. Always enjoy speaking with you, Alicia.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dan.
Right.
Thank you very much. Now make sure you stay up to date on everything we're shooting here at RSA. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/SecureNinja. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter as well. We'll be posting tons of great interviews. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Alicia Webb.
Secure Ninja Shorts are brought to you by SecureNinja.com, a world leader in information security and IT training and certification. Our master instructors will help build you into a highly skilled and marketable security professional. SecureNinja.com, forging IT security experts.